everyone world over, all our brothers and sisters in different countries, in different continents, in different time zones, in different arenas, in different conditions, in different mental states, in different framework, and having passed through the different pedagogies, andragogies, and whatsoever has gone through in the entire continent in 2020. Ladies and gentlemen, today is 31st of December, the last day of 2020. This was a very troublesome year for the whole world. People have passed through very difficult times. A lot of people have lost their jobs. A lot of MSME have lost their business. A lot of people have got dropped out. Situation and figures are very, very alarming when we come to know that 30% parents in America have taken a decision that they would like to have homeschooling for their children. 11 million girls are not going to return to their schools and institutions. At the same time, when we look back, almost 1.65 billion children, as per the UNESCO statistics, they were away from school, colleges, universities, institutions, skill centers, competency-based, whatever we can talk about. Like doctors, nurses, and paramedical people, they have done a great job as warriors. I personally consider that the teachers, the educators, the principals, the counselors, the technocrats, yes, the last word is very important, technocrats. The people, those are from technology background, because people were struggling on 25th of March. Where is Zoom? Where is Microsoft? Where is Google? Where is Cisco? Where to go? Where to see? Where is mobile? Oh, how can I impart the education to children? And pandemic came like a tsunami, and all of a sudden complete lockdown and teaching scenario totally got changed. Education scenario got totally changed. And to keep it education relevant, making education relevant, the difficult challenge and the great, great challenge for teachers, for principals, for educators, for trainers, for counselors. But well, you all have come out victorious. Our heartiest congratulations and regards and greetings to all of you. Like doctors and nurses, you people have also done commendable job. Otherwise, 138 crore population, and imagine the amount of schools and colleges and universities and institutions across the country with limited resources, but whether radio or television or mobile phone or laptop or desktop or any kind of a thing, whether flipped learning or blended learning or out of the classroom learning or technology-based learning or innovative learning or creative learning or collaborative learning, you have tried your level best to reach out every child the best possible way. And something very interesting I would like to share. The other day when we were having 5,000 principals across the globe, and they came from 153 countries together on the platform, because we deal with 31 million non-resident Indians world over. Our chamber is basically taking care of outside India when you look at, and all our brothers and sisters who have gone abroad in different countries, and they're bringing proud to India. They don't only bring intellectual capital or education inputs or networking, but they also contribute to the FDI, foreign direct investment to India. Now, ladies and gentlemen, today is 519th webinar during this pandemic. Imagine, 1 year has got 365 days. We started on 25th of March. We have come a long way, 519 webinars today, and all dedicated exclusively to education empowerment, hand holding of everybody across the world with the best of pedagogies and best of input from everyone. And as a humble student, we learned. This evening, we extend a very warm welcome to Mr. Jitendra, Mr. Vishal, Madam Chitra, and Dr. V. Sudha Maliniji. And today's deliberations and discussion is going to be on innovation in students' assessment. Now, this is our chamber, ICSI, since 1994, 31 million Indians abroad, and we focused on making education relevant Monday to Sunday. Proud of it that just last Sunday, today is Thursday, so it was Wednesday, it was Tuesday, it was Monday, and last Sunday, that was NRI's webinar on 29 December, and where AICT Chairman Professor Anil Sahasrabuddheji, along with the non-resident Indians from Woodbury University, Sam Houston University, then Marshall University from USA, Lamar University, USA, and University of Gothenburg, that is from Sweden. And we brought all of them together on a common platform with Dr. Rajneesh Arora, who is along with Professor Anil Sahasrabuddheji on basically student induction program when they come from schools and they join the colleges, when they're coming into management education or engineering education. So there has to be an induction program so that children do not feel out of the place. And we have always very strongly recommended, why not the principal of schools and colleges sit together and have a cup of tea sometime? Ladies and gentlemen, ICSI journey for 2021 is holistic education. When we talk about holistic education, education skills and micro, small and medium enterprise, that means entrepreneurship has to be blended. We are very strongly recommended to Government of India, Niti Aayog, Prime Minister Office, and all the government bodies which are giving funding to schools, colleges, and universities that kindly do not disburse the money to institutions blindly. It should be relevant and it should be linked with the children, those are coming out of schools and colleges. What is their level? Where have they gone? What have they acquired? What have they taken? Have they got some kind of a startup or entrepreneurship or employment or self-employment? It should be linked with that. There will be no unemployment in India. And we will go back to the 15th century, what it used to be. When I look back at the education, way back in the 15th century, there was a value and ethic-led practical education in ancient times. Today, there is a rote learning, and all the time there is a race to complete the syllabi, curriculum, everything to be completed, and there's so much of pressure on principals, teachers, educators. Teachers are carrying notebook to their residences to examine and to see and to evaluate and to bring it back next day. They are busy with many other administrative duties. How can they do justice with the education? And also at the same time, we have strongly recommended that if you want education to be empowered, it is very, very important that the teachers got to be better paid. They are not worried while coming to school whether ration is there at home or not, whether things are in shape at back home or not. Because half the time they are worried, you want to give them few chips and you expect moon from them. How can they give you star and moons if you give chips to them? They deserve better position, better status, better respect, better salary, better package. And also we are very strongly recommended to the government, teachers, those are handling children up to the 10 years of age should be highest paid because these are formative years and they are the most important years. What the child will become tomorrow, it is only up to 10 years of age. Thereafter, you are just making the superstructure. Our deepest regards and thanks to the Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi ji, and Dr. Ramesh Pokhriyal Nishank, the Honorable Education Minister of India. The new education policy which has come in India, it's a great document, it's a wonderful document. We moved from 1968 to 1986 and then minor changes in 1992. And then we have come a long way on 29th of July, 4 p.m. in the evening, when announcement that the green signal now given. So, policy being announced, now policy become a constitutional identity, and thereafter now policy is to be implemented, and thereafter the policy to be monitored. So when it is to be implemented, and the policy is when learning centric, and it is also focusing on what is the outcome, what exactly the child has acquired from school or college or institution. That is something which is accountable, and government is committed to spend 6% of the GDP on education ecosystem, something wonderful. So school education, altogether a new academic structure in higher education, great, wonderful structure. So we are proud of Divya Lal ma'am. She's doing great job, very dynamic woman. Whenever I talk to her, new energy, new synergy, and new pedagogies emerge. Now, ladies and gentlemen, right over here, our chamber Iraq is organizing almost 26 programs per week, and all are related to education. The whole confluence and flux and the focus is making education relevant. When it is morning 4:30 in India and it's about 10 a.m. in Australia, Fiji, and New Zealand, we start our journey. From there, we come to ASEAN, Myanmar, Cambodia, Laos, Singapore, Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia, Philippines, Brunei, all the 10 countries. Then we go to Middle East. We start with Saudi Arabia, Doha, Qatar, Oman, Kuwait, Abu Dhabi, Sharjah, Dubai, and then we go to Central Asia, where we touch Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, Kyrgyzstan. Then we come to South Asia. We come to Afghanistan, Bhutan, Nepal, Sri Lanka, Maldives, and then of course we come to India. And then late in the evening we go to United States. And before that we touch on the way entire European continent. Now also people are joining us from abroad. There are 227 CBSE schools world over in 27 countries. And from Europe, we go to America, then we go to Canada, then we go to Latin America. And of course, in between, people join us from Mauritius, Seychelles, and they also join us from African continent. We are proud of Dr. Mishra, the Honorable Minister, joining us from Kenya. We extend a very hearty welcome, and it's a pleasure. And this is the roadmap this afternoon at 12:30 to the new year. That is what we are entering tomorrow. We had a wonderful program. You can see it on the YouTube any point of time if you come on GS Motivator. All my distinguished panelists and principals, those who have joined this afternoon, we would make a humble request to you. By the time I'm just interacting with the global fraternity, please on your mobile phone, send a message to your teachers and your students. They should come and log in on GS Motivator. We would like to give some cash prizes before we enter into 2021. So YouTube Live, like you watch a film or a song or a movie or whatever, you just type GS Motivator and you will come to this particular program live which is going on. So I was sharing a little while before, we talked about education, school education, higher education, skills, and micro, small and medium enterprise and entrepreneurship a little while before with all of you. This evening, after this, we have got a wonderful program coming up that is at 5 p.m. because with the Media Entertainment Sector Skill Council of Government of India, our deepest regards and thanks to Honorable Minister of Skill Development and Entrepreneurship, Dr. Mahendranath Pandey. There are 37 Sector Skill Council. And during this pandemic, with the Health Sector Skill Council, Wellness Sector Skill Council, Media Entertainment Sector Skill Council, with Entrepreneurship Sector Skill Council, and then as the pandemic will be getting over, vaccine is on the way now, people will come out, they will have some psychological barriers and psychological inhibition. When we talk about that, from 4th of January, that is on Monday, in the new year, we are starting a beautiful series on mental wellness, physical wellness, spiritual wellness, your everything positivity, positive living, positive thinking, positive talking with the Sector Skill Council for Wellness, Government of India. Don't forget to join us Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 4 days a week. We will be with the Sector Skill Council on wellness, where mental and physical and spiritual well-being of everybody. But today is basically teachers and youth empowerment. That is Media Entertainment Sector Skill Council. They will give the complete roadmap. What are the free courses available for teachers, for principals, for students with regard to media entertainment industry in 2021? Our chamber has done great service. During this pandemic, we collected data from 160 countries. And this data shows there is a new golden triangle. It's no more Delhi, Agra, Jaipur. Now the new golden triangle is your basic food, your basic health, and your basic education. The world is going to have a new order. B2B is no more business to business. It is back to basics of life, sustainable development of the world. So ladies and gentlemen, whatsoever human mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. Let's come together. Let's make education relevant. And education should be practical. Education should be relevant to my day-to-day life. If I'm studying a particular subject or a particular program or particular course, it should be relevant to my life. If I study those subjects and those contents and that curriculum and those modules which have got a direct relevance with my life, then education has got a purpose. Because that is something very important we all would like to understand. So with these words, we extend a very warm welcome to all of you. Thank you very much for joining us from world over. And here are the dignitaries, and here are our four distinguished guests this afternoon. Thank God there is a proper balance. There are two ladies and there are two gentlemen. 50% vote goes to all of them together, so that there is no problem. Because I don't consider myself at the age of 72, I'm a minus now. So that is the way we got to be taken care of, and we got to move ahead. And as a mark of respect, we would request first the ladies to speak and thereafter the gentlemen to speak. And with these words, we extend a very warm welcome to all of you. First initial introductory round for 2 minutes each. You talk about your school, where are you located, which city are you in, up to what class your school is, how many students you have got, what are you focusing on, and what is your vision for 2021. That is the first round. Second round, we will talk about the innovation in the students' assessment. With these words, the frontal seat and the respect given to the ladies, and a hearty welcome to all of you. You can unmute your mic. Both the ladies can decide who would like to speak first. And please go on. The world is yours now. People are watching you. And I request that do join us on YouTube, GS Motivator, all the teachers and all the students who are joining. You should have first 1,000 rupees question. What do you want in education in 2021? What do you want in education in 2021? And the best creative answer, whatever will come, these are my four judges. They will decide whom the prize should go. And कौन बनेगा करोड़पति का पहला क्वेश्चन भी 500 रुपए का शुरू होता है, यहाँ तो 1000 रुपए का शुरू हो रहा है. हम आपको 1000 rupees देंगे. Let's start the program this afternoon. With these words, hearty welcome, because Dr. B. Sudha Malini ji has already unmuted her mic. She says I have to meet Hema Malini. So Sudha Malini ji, let's go ahead with you and let's start with you. Yes.
Very good afternoon, sir. Very energetic speak, which motivated us also. Let's with that. Myself, V. Sudha Malini, Principal, RMK Senior Secondary School, Chennai. I have 25 years of teaching experience, and I believe in experiential learning. And my school, my innovations and expectation for 2021 is wellness. We all feel that the children come back to school and they should stay back, and more than that, mental wellness very important than the academic importance. So the 1 year they all stayed at home. So my future 2021 planning is how can I make better for the teamwork, mental wellness, togetherness. They can how can I improve their personality, whichever they have lost in 1 year of time. They were sitting at home, they lost the connect of social connect, they lost it. So we have to more focus on the social connect, rather we have to give, rather than giving a more important on academic. We do give importance on more academic part. More than that, I feel that we have to give more importance on socialization of children, which they lost for this COVID time. With that, I can pass on to the next.
Thank you. We go to Chitra ma'am. Before that, let me extend a very warm welcome to Madam Nyoin Yodu from Arunachal Pradesh, from Nurjuli, Rajani Siva Kumar, and Sundara Pandian, Dr. Kamal Krishna Banik, and then comes Sai Thorat, then Rajani Siva Kumar, then Mari Salvan, and Sampada, then PUBG Victor. Wow, PUBG has gone from India. Please don't change your name now. Okay, Badwan CP. Then thereafter M. Bhuvaneshwari, then Sidiksha Selvaraj and Parth, then Saundra, then Devi, then thereafter Subhash Bosi, RB Pankaj, VVSBS 1483-84, and then Mochi Padu, then Balkrishan G, then Rajani Shivakumar, and Principal. Okay, great. Pleasure. And thereafter we go to Chitra ma'am. Ladies and gentlemen, you must have heard one Chitra ma'am with Yashodas in Kerala. Let's find out where from this Chitra ma'am is. Chitra Madhavan
Yes.
ma'am. Yes.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. Let me just introduce myself. This is Chitra Madhavan, Senior Principal, Velamal Vidyashram School, Surapet, Chennai. We have actually 25 schools. It's a chain of schools, and in my campus, we have 15,000 students. Again, the campus is just divided into 6 schools. We have classes till 12. It's a co-education school. We strongly believe in developing the competency of the students, and as it is, it's a pandemic situation, and as ma'am rightly said, most of the students have just got themselves at home. We wanted them to develop their competency. The challenge that we have for 2021 is to develop their competency and to develop the life skills, because every now and then we see lot of students getting frustrated if they don't get anything that they have expected. So we found that the life skills is something that is missing in all the students. So the main focus would be to develop competency and to just develop the life skills and values in the students.
Wow. Life skills. Great. Great. Ma'am, what did you say? Which city are you located in? Chennai?
Chennai, sir, Chennai.
Chennai. And if I correctly understood, 15,000 students in your school?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you have got 25 schools cluster?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. Pleasure to have. First of all, ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big hand to both the ladies. Of course, gentlemen also deserve a big hand, because on 31st of December, coming for any education program, it requires a great courage. Because the last day, people are thinking we are getting into 2021. Today is the deliberation. How? No deliberation. Celebration. Sorry, I wanted to say celebration. So how there can be deliberation? Well, anyway, we can move from celebration to deliberation and deliberation to congratulation. Okay, let's come. Out of the male, there is a tie. Let us see who wants to speak first. Although Mr. Vishal Sawant has already unmuted his mic. Okay, let's go ahead. Yes.
So, very good afternoon and Jai Swaminarayan to everyone. Myself, Mr. Vishal Sawant, I am the academic head of the Swaminarayan School. Our school is associated with BAPS, that is a Swaminarayan Sanstha it is, and it is connecting the education to the spirituality. We have more than 10 residential schools and 55 day schools also we have. We have 55 primary schools, secondary and higher secondary schools built in Gujarat, then Maharashtra and Orissa state. And these schools are built after the natural disasters only. And we have 23 hostels also serving urban and tribal areas. We are also involved in different kind of social activities, medical and tribal activities also, and environmental activities also. And we have the strength of around 2,000 students in our school now. And it is a CBSE school till 12th grade. Nagpur. I'm located in Nagpur, sir.
Nagpur.
Yeah.
Oh, Nagpur. That is something very, very remarkable. That wherever some kind of a difficulty was experienced, whether in Gujarat or Odisha or Maharashtra,
yes.
So there your organization goes and wow, that's commendable. That's commendable. Okay, right, Jitendra Khair Naji.
Yes. Very good afternoon, sir, and a very good afternoon to all the fellow panelists and all the audience viewers. This is Jitendra Khairnar, and I am located at Pune. Arise International School. I'm a principal as well as I'm an academic director for 4 other schools of our organization called JSPM Latur. So we have around 5 schools as well as we have colleges, even granted schools. So around 32 institutions are functioning under the JSPM umbrella, and our management follows Swami Vivekananda very closely. His philosophy of education, spiritual philosophy. So we believe in science, spirituality, and skill development. These are our 3 mottos of our organization. Our chairman sir follows them very closely and very ritually. So I feel honored to be the part of this webinar, and I'm excited to present my views on this new assessments. Thank you very much.
Great, great. Jitendraji, do you know that with regard to Swami Vivekananda's foundation or Galore Mutt, every Saturday at 5 p.m. we have a special program from Chicago. 11th of September 1893, 127 years back, our chamber every Saturday 5 p.m. brings a live telecast. And just few days back, we had Swami Sarvapriyanandaji, who is one of the legends at present, who is basically taking of Vedanta. From New York, he was a part of this journey with us over here. So it's a pleasure. I would like to know more from you on Swami Vivekananda's side, the kind of thing what we can take. Okay.
Sure, sure.
So now we have got 3:30 and I've got 4 speakers. So 5 minutes each, maybe 1 minute spillover. And that is the way we go by because 4 o'clock I have to go back to Australia. So now let's start with Dr. Sudha Malini ji, then we come to Chitraman, then we come to Vishalji, and then we come to Mr. Jitendra. You can give your perspective, your idea, and we strongly believe that there should not be any kind of an assessment. What kind of an assessment? And who is going to assess? And whom are we going to assess? When children have acquired so much of creativity, knowledge, everything, rather, we should recommend to the government of India that there should be a less of assessment, less of evaluation, and let children be a group and let everybody be a part of it, a growth in this society altogether different. So that is our perspective. But however, we would like to listen to you. What is your innovative recommendation or a strategy? What should be done in an innovative way in students' assessment? And what could be under the new education policy, the new assessment methodology? With these words, Sudha Malini.
Sir, whenever I hear about the word assessment, I always reflect on, are we allowing the fishes in my class to swim and the rabbit to run and the eagle to snore? Or we want a normal, all the average ducks in my class to have it. So it is all depends on what kind of an assessment, as we are telling. In my class, every child is unique. Every child is having a different talents. So is the same kind of an assessment system, what I am giving it to my children will give a relevance to them. What kind of a competency I'm going to build on them, what kind of a competency I wanted to bring it out from. So that's very important when it comes to the means of assessment. So whether it is off assessment or for whatever they learned. So it is very important for a teacher to understand what is my learning outcome for that particular class. What is my learning outcome I wanted to expect from this particular child? Based on that, the assessment should be. And the assessment should be different kind of a learners we have got in the classroom. So whether my multiple intelligence has to be in the place of the assessment, whether every child has been given a chance for different, capacities, they can showcase their talents in a different way, and the assessment also should be in a different way. Each child, it matters. So we have to understand that one child may be very good in presenting his method of concept, maybe in a musical way, some maybe in a poetry way, some maybe in a essay way. So it's every child presented in a different way. So as a teacher has to ask firstly whether am I giving chance for the children to present their method of writing the test or something, or am I giving the same kind of writing and giving the mark, the same kind of a methodology I'm using for the assessment. So the first thing, we have to understand what I need from the student, how I want the children to be present to the methodology of assessment. So it's very important as a school, when you are planning the curriculum, so you have to know that it's not necessary that board exam is there, so you have to make the children only write and I have to make them practice every time. Instead of that, till 8th standard, you have it in your school. So may ensure it, I may be having a group activity or an individual activity, or I may have art integrated learning outcomes. I can check the learning outcome through my art or through an experiential learning. So a different kind of a methodology has to be used for the assessment, so that what will happen, the skill can be developed. We are giving chance for the child to, expose the skill. We are just tapping the skill of the child. Then what happened? The child, understand that, okay, this particular skill I am good at. So the child maybe develop the skill in a school level. So which may be, next taken to the assembly, then it can be moved out to the district and the next level. So it's very important for the school to understand what I am looking for. Am I looking for improving the skill in the classroom, or I am simply looking for a mark at the school level? So first you have to set the goal on it. What is that I'm looking for? Am I looking for a different kind of a assessment system in a school? Yes, it's a little bit time consuming, but when you plan it, definitely you can achieve it. You can achieve the multiple intelligence system in a classroom. If you do it in a classroom systematically, definitely the children, those who are come out for the 2021, because we know that the kind of a job it's going to exist in the future scenario, the child has to be given a chance to showcase the talent in the school level. Then only he will get the confidence to move to the next level of the society. So it's very important for the school. It's every participant should understand that the school, it is not only for the marks. We have to develop the soft skills, personality, so that when the child move out to the society, he can take up any kind of a challenges whichever coming into the net. With that, I just close my session, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. You touched and you brought out very important point. I will take on from there. When ma'am was talking about skills and when she was talking, what exactly is going to be the outcome and how the future is going to be. Now, there is a very important question we would like to share over here. Whatever we are learning today, now this is everybody has to understand. Whatever we are learning today, would it hold any relevance by the time we will pass out from a school or a college or a university? Or would it become obsolete or obsolescent? During my time, writing skill was very, very important. Write on blackboard, write in notebook, write on takhti, write on slate, write in copy, wherever it is. Today there is no written skill. You have not to write anything. Then there was a mugging up, rote learning. Today Alexa is there. You just go to the Google and you say, Google, I want to know this, and you get the answer within no time. So you need not to mug up also. Okay. If that is the case, all our participants, those are watching from world over, my request to you is only one answer, yes or no. Do you feel that we should have the present assessment system in education? If you want, just type on the YouTube chat box yes. If you don't want, just put it no. And I will also come to know whether teachers are watching or students are watching. Because teachers will say yes, assessment should be there. Students will say assessment should not be there. Let's hear Chitra ma'am, what she has got. And by the time, I would tell all the participants, if you feel the assessment system should be there, then type on YouTube channel GS Motivator yes. If you think no, it is redundant, it is obsolete, it is not required, this assessment system is not scientific, it is not at all scientific, then write no. Okay, Chitra ma'am.
Gulshan ji has rightly said, the word assessment itself creates a fear in everyone. For example, if you are to assess all these panelists, we will not have our thoughts flowing. We'll be very much restricted and will not give our complete ideas. So assessment as such is a fear factor. Thanks to Narendra Modi ji, as he has the NEP is so well designed. Like they have got different types of assessments there. Self-assessment, which definitely would create will just reduce the fear in them, the anxiety in them, and every child would be motivated. So self-assessment, peer assessment, and the other important thing that they have introduced is the parent assessment, where there is going to be a homeschool connect. Right now, whenever it's a school, we always have a fear factor associated with this. So these three things, these three part of assessment would definitely help the student learn and move towards the objectives that have been set for them. And it's very well planned till 8th standard. There will not be any formal assessment kind of a thing, where the students would be free. And by 9th standard, when they move to class 9, they would be mentally and physically prepared to accept the challenges, where they know that it is going to take them forward towards the career. So what we do at Velamal is, instead of just going for a systematic assessment, we have got the product definition for each level. For example, when we are just looking at the KG, we are just preparing them for learning. We call that as learning readiness. And in grade 1 and 2, we look for reading readiness. Similarly, when we just move to the primary level, 3, 4, and 5, we just look into concept consolidation. And in the middle school, we look at concept application. And of course, from 9 to 12, we just prepare them for career. So they are prepared towards the career. So what I suggest is, first we need to remove the factor till 8th standard assessment should not be there. Everyone should be self-assessed. They should be assessed by the peer with whom they are very much comfortable with, and of course with the parents. Parents would definitely know a lot. They could be in a position to create a portfolio for their own child. And when they come to know what exactly is the child capable of, they would also plan the career properly. Rather, presently what is happening is each of them are too focused towards medicine or engineering or so-called white collar jobs is what every parent would prefer. When we give them that opportunity to create a portfolio for their own child, definitely every child's talent would come out, and everyone would definitely come forward, and everyone would definitely come off with flying colors in whatever the career they choose. Thank you,
Wonderful.
sir.
Points well taken. Points well taken. And there's something very important point which has emerged from here. Like we all understand, there are formative years of the child. And if we know the child has got maximum retention, retentivity, perception, creativity, whatever child can pick up to the age of 8 or 9 or 10. I think what Chitra ma'am is saying, it has got a lot of merit, and we very, very strongly recommend we should not put any psychological pressure on children in the formative years at all. That's first part. Secondly, she was so honest to admit it that right now in this webinar itself, if we say that principals are going to be assessed on something, they will be more conscious, they will be more cautious. So thereby, we create artificial, psychological fear in children. They can perform much, much, much better if we do not follow the present evaluation, so-called assessment system. Great, great inputs. Let's get to Vishal Savanji.
Yeah. Chitra ma'am rightly said that the assessment pattern has to be till 8th standard, but I believe that the new education policy, if you consider that in the foundational stage, we can have the till second grade, we can have the no assessment pattern should be there till the second grade, and after that this assessment pattern has to be considered. But when the assessment pattern is taken into consideration, there are certain kind of criteria has to be there, like for example different kind of skills, then intelligence, knowledge, values and competency has to be considered when the assessment has been done. Like for example, I like to give example during this pandemic time period. Now it is very difficult for all the heads of the schools to plan out for the assessment pattern. So what I believe that all kind of skills has to be covered. If the child is not having the writing skills, then in the future what will happen till the child goes to the 8th standard, the writing skills are not being assessed, then it will be very difficult for the child to give their board papers also. Now also the CC pattern was not taken into very seriously, the assessment pattern was not taken, and because of that many of the students are not having very good writing skills in the 10th and 12th grade also. So it is very important that right from the lower grade, from the second grade, the assessment pattern has to be there, and it should concentrate more on all different types of skills. Like writing skills has to be there, then speaking skills should be there, then values and competency skills should be introduced during this time period. Now I like to highlight that what kind of pattern we are trying to adopt for our school so that we can assess all the students. Like MCQ test is now become a very important tool for the assessment now at present stage. Now during this time period, our observation is like that the student who are not able to score very good marks during the school examinations, physical school examinations where they are having a pen and paper test, now they're able to do very good and they're getting very excellent marks they're getting. That means they have a very good knowledge also. but their writing skills, they're lacking in writing skills. Because of that, they are not able to score more marks. Then secondly, we can have further to improve the writing skills at this present stage. We can have an open book test also, where because of the open book test, the child is able to develop the writing skills. Then his thinking abilities also increases because of that. Then we concentrate more on the project work and the video activity also. Now, when we are giving the project, we are giving the subject integrated project to the student. Now, for example, we will consider any of the topic, like the topic is related to child marriage. So this topic is integrated to all the different subjects. It has been integrated, and we try to give different types of activities to the child by integrating it to the different subjects. And secondly, we also emphasize on making the video, and this video is related to extracurricular activities. If the child is very good in dancing, then the child can perform a dance which is related to uh, the example which I gave just now, that is child marriage. So related to the child marriage also, the student, he can perform some kind of a dance performance can be done, and he can express his view related to the child marriage. Correct. Then secondly, like music, if the child is very good in music also, then the child can sing a song which is related to the child marriage. Correct. Then if the child is very good in drawing, we can give them the artwork to perform, so that in the artwork form also the child can learn that topic through the artwork. Similarly, art and craft, and even physical activity also, like through the physical activity also, the child can explain the importance of what um, or whatever the problems the child is facing because of the child marriages. So there are different kind of things can be taken into account for the assessment pattern, I believe, like that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Thanks a lot. I've got two very important takeaways from your, kind of expression. One is you used the word extracurricular. Now, extracurricular has gone in the new education policy. Curricular, extracurricular, co-curricular, sports, music, they all are the integral parts now of the whole system. Secondly, you brought out very important point, music. Our chamber is working on it in almost 49 countries. We are working on at present. Music for mathematics, music for physics, music for chemistry, music for history, music for geography, everything related to music. And finally, we are working on that the outcome of a child creativity, critical thinking, collaborative, because the kind of skills when you talk about the child who plays drums, the motor skills when you talk about, because the mind is also working, eyes are also working, hands are also working, feet are also working, the complete kind of a coordination. Okay, guys, great. Let's take it music orchestra, 150 musicians sitting in front, and the leadership quality which you give from there, that's also a skill being developed with the help of music. Mathematics, there is a gentleman, we have taken the pattern for about 140 countries where the morning prayer or rhythms and everything, all the rhythm, when you talk about Saregama Padanisa, Sanidapa Gaba Garesa, when you talk about it, all the rhythms are mathematics and nothing else. Whatever you talk about, India has got a lot of creativity, and I personally feel what you mentioned over here, music, pedagogy is something very, very important as an ingredient. Okay. Jitendra ji, we have got a special program which is Swami Vivekananda's teachings for education and youth empowerment. And you made a mention that your school is deeply associated. Well, we would like to hear your views on to assessment.
Yeah. Can I share screen? I have one slide to show. Just one slide.
But not more than 5 minutes.
No, just one slide I'm sharing.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Thank you.
Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Yeah, just 1 minute. Yeah. So my screen is seen? Yeah. So being a last speaker of the panelists, I have got the honor to summarize what other speakers have spoken, and even I have to present my own views. So I'm very happy that this policy is doing a paradigm shift from content based assessment to competency based assessment. This is very important statement, or this is very important paradigm shift from what we were assessing earlier. I agree with others, fellow speakers, that assessment itself, the word assessment itself, creates a little fear in the minds of the people who are being assessed, or even who are assessing. They become serious about it. But then we can't do away with that. So what we can do is we can just change the type or the format of assessments. So this policy has strongly advocated a shift, or a paradigm shift from content based. We were assessing the content learning, whether the child has learned the content or not learned the content. We were assessing that. And when we were assessing more of, we were just assessing the child learning, but not the teacher's teaching, whether teacher is able to teach, whether the learning outcomes are being achieved or not. That was not seen. But last 5 years, we are talking about learning outcomes, CB, or say competency-based learning. And this policy has come up with the wonderful ideas about that. And I have tried my level best to put on in this slide all the important tools which we can use as educators to assess the children, the teachers. Everybody can be assessed by using these all tools. But when we are talking about the learner, we more focused on formative assessment rather than summative assessment nowadays. As a grade 1 to 8, we are going to do away with the rote learning, and we are more focused on teaching and enhancing the skills of the children. So I have few things here which can be added too, but whatever I felt, I've added that. Earlier Sawan sir also said that quizzes are the wonderful medium through which children can be assessed, and children love quizzing, whether it is online quizzing, it is offline quizzing. Nowadays we are all teaching online, so every school has adopted some or the other app or software. So these apps are providing wonderful tools to prepare small quizzes. There can be a competition in the classroom, there can be inter-school competition. So quizzes are wonderful ways to assess the children in formal way, in a formative way. Then there are portfolios from grade 1. We can have wonderful portfolio prepared about the children's academics, about their affective domain, their cognitive domain, their psychomotor domain, all other activities, their medical reports. So portfolios is also a very good idea. CBSE has already introduced it. Then there is subject enrichment activities, which are again an informal way to assess the children. Then there can be group projects, there can be presentation, there can be surveys, there can be case studies. So children can learn themselves. You don't need to teach them, you just need to give them a guided activity so that they can learn themselves. As we are all talking about self-assessment also, peer assessment also. So these are the wonderful tools which we can use for assessing the children. There also we have right now in JSPM group of schools, we are using app called Prodigy, which is a gamified mathematics app. So wherein children are just given the assignment by the teacher, and children don't by the teacher, and children don't know what assignment is given, but they get a game to play. So when they play a game, they have to solve some mathematical problems and they have to go to the next level. So it's a wonderful tool or way to engage children in learning, and even we can assess them what skills they are learning, what skills they are not learning, what concepts are being clear, what concepts are not being clear, so they can revise. It's a feedback for both the teacher as well as the student. So we are using that more of now. So we have this one tool because of technology, artificial intelligence we can use to design these tests or gamified apps. As one of the speaker also mentioned, that open books test, we are very much fearful about open books tests. I have been speaking with many people, but whenever I say open books test, they fear. If children starts copying, it is not the children start copying, it is the skill of the teacher, how he sets the questions for that open book test. If the teacher is able to do that well, so he can do. Then we have just 1 minute. Flipped classroom, role play, and other. Thank you very much.
No. Let slide be there. Let slide be there. Just 1 second.
Yeah, okay.
The point which he has mentioned over here, open book test. I want to give 5,000 rupees reward before we go to 2021. Let me see who is the winner.
Okay, okay.
Teachers can also participate. Principals can also participate. All of us can participate. Anybody who gives me the correct answer, you win 5,000 rupees today, this evening, before we close this session. Question is very simple. 1947, India got independence. 1968 was the first education policy after Kothari commissions. 1986 was the second policy. 1992 minor changes, and now 2020 the new policy has come after 34 years. 1986 to 2020, in 34 years, what percentage of 1986 education policy actually got implemented till date? Write only in percentage, 5%, 10%, 20%, 30%, 40%. Even if you're 1% wrong up and down, I'll still give you 5,000 rupees. You could be the winner this evening. Please go ahead. Next one. Open textbooks to next.
Shall I continue?
Yes, for you now.
Yeah, thank you. So open book test is also a wonderful tool which we can use to test and assess the children in a very informal way, and even children will also enjoy searching the content which they are asked about. So we should not fear about the open book test. It's a only requirement is to do the capacity building of the teachers, so that they are able to design a good open book test, so that the fear in the mind of the teacher that if I give open book to a test to the children end up copying. So it's not like that. The teacher has to set an application based question, creativity based question, personal response, critical thinking based question, so that the open test books, I think it's a time right now all the schools, all the boards should go and heartedly adopt to the open book test. Also, we have recently, last 5-10 years, we have got new concept called flipped classroom. It's a wonderful concept, but still, I mean, it's practiced in very less number of schools. So flipped classroom is something in which the teacher takes, behind role and the children are given the front role. I mean, they learn themselves. The role reversal happens. So I think we can give this kind of, we can have this kind of flipped classroom, so that the learners take initiative in learning, and the teacher just being there to help them, to guide them, to support them, to remove the obstacles. As Swami Vivekananda also said, that the true teacher is one who comes down immediately to the level of the child and bring himself to his level and sees through his eyes, understand his through his mind and heart. So same way, the teacher can come to the level of the children and allow the children to take the learning forward. So I think that is the beautiful idea. Flipped classroom can also be one of the tool to assess the children learning. Then there is a role play, and there is wonderful activities called SUPW. Children love going outside, love doing practical things. So in last year also, we in our school, I had taken around 50 children for Scout Guide camp, 2 days in a village, and they did a lot of wonderful things. They did cooking, they did survey in the village, they did skit, I mean, street plays in the village. They visited the farms. I mean, many things they did there, and it was a wonderful learning experience for children. And this is also one of the way to assess the children. There are club activities suggested by different boards. So all these things we can make learning happen. Learning means assessment is not something for which students should study. I mean, assessment is a tool so to assess how learning is happening. But nowadays we are seeing assessment for learning. So that is also very important. And with this, I summarize that we should or we cannot do away from assessments, but we can make the modify them. We can change them so that assessment becomes very customary and it is scattered throughout the year. And children, teacher, all they enjoy it and they become a part and parcel of it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jitendra ji. Very kind of you. You can close your presentation.
I have done.
Thank you very much. In fact, wonderful suggestions. And all my participants, you can be the winner. Kindly keep writing. But I want to know the authority. I gave an example of Jitendra ji because it's an open book test. You can't write only percentage and you expect I'll give you 5,000 rupees. You got to give me authority. You got to give me where from you picked it up. Otherwise, what is the open book test? Once he told open book test, we want to see open any book, and this will be on till 5 o'clock. Your contest is on till 5 o'clock. Anybody, if you write me with authority the correct percentage, you get 5,000 rupees before we enter to 2021. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. It was a pleasure to have this panel. Wishing all of you a wonderful year ahead, 2021. Let's make education relevant. Let's make education pragmatic. Let's make education realistic. Let's make education which has got relevance to my day-to-day living life, my thought process, my positivity, and my creativity, my innovation, and at the same time, no education is complete unless either it makes me entrepreneur or it creates employment for me. Otherwise, it's a wastage of time, nothing else. It's a wastage of time. Thereby, the skills got to be incorporated, capabilities have to be incorporated, and capacities have to be incorporated. Competence has to be incorporated. We got to get an education which basically helps us to lead a better life, to help the society and community, to help the entire civilization, and at the same time, what community expects from us, we should bring some economic activity to our family. Either I am self-employed or I am employed. From Hyderabad commits suicide because she did not have laptop to complete her project work, and she was 98% mark in Lady Shram College in Delhi. I feel very sad and sorry for that. We got to give the seamless connectivity. We got to give the basic equipment, and education got to be relevant to my life. That is something very important which we have to work on. And assessment, self-assessment, and my life assessment is more important than any other assessment. Stand before mirror and talk to yourself and say, am I doing good to society? Am I bringing proud to my parents, to my college, to my school, to my institution, and to my community? If you say yes, then you are passed. Nobody can fail you. So with these words, wishing you all a wonderful year ahead. Thank you very much. God bless all of us. Stay fine, stay well, take care of yourself, and keep joining us. You need not to go on any password or anything, Zoom. You have to just come on YouTube channel. You want to see motivation every evening, 5 o'clock. We have got a complimentary program, and only one thing we have taken a pledge. Not a single rupee to be taken from anybody in 2021. Everything has to come as a community service.